Hello, my lovelies. Today we're talking about a book I read recently. This is The Book of Living Secrets by Madeline Rowe. This book was weird. We're going to talk about it. So without any further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's talk about it. Roll the intro. Welcome back. Now, what are we talking about? What is this book? Well, this book follows two girls, Connie and Adele. Yeah, I wanted to say Adeline at first, but Connie and Adele, their favorite book is a book called Moira. It's a little known book, and they love this book. They can't find the author. There's so much that they love about this book from the two protagonists, which are called Moira and Severin. It's an 18th century romance that they love. And Connie struggles with her sexuality. She likes girls. She hasn't come out yet. And she has a huge crush on Moira, which is the protagonist, where Adele has a crush on Severin, who is the book boyfriend of Moira. So Adele is really into the occult. Adele is really into tarot cards. She's into magic, astrology, all that good stuff. And they go to this place that is like a curio shop. It's run by this really suspicious older man. And one day he invites Adele, but not Connie, to participate in this ritual that he's having. And he promises Adele that he can put her into the world of Moira. So they do go into Moira. The spell works. They both go into Moira. Connie was more reserved about it. She doesn't really believe in the magic and all that stuff. So when Adele disappears, of course she follows. Like Blue's could do, I can too. If you don't know the reference, it's Blue's Clues. But this book, as soon as they get into Moira, it's weird. The first one, because it depends on how the spell works that they do. The spell works that they put their hand over a certain section of the book, and Connie goes in timeline earlier than Adele does. They go in at the same time, but different places in the timeline of this book, which is already kind of weird. So, where Adele goes into where there's supposed to be this, in the Moira book, there's supposed to be this big event where Moira has a big soiree, a big party, and she is going to proclaim her love for the somewhat peasant boy Severin instead of her betrothed Kincaid. So that's where Adele goes in, and she has some issues. But earlier in time, Connie comes in around the time that they have before the party, a few weeks before this big party. So Connie goes in earlier in the story, and she realizes that everything is different, things are weird here. And it's still in Boston. They live in Boston, and the book is set in Boston, but 18th century Boston. This book is so weird. I remembered asking myself, what the hell? I was expecting like dark ink art, like the characters are not what they seem. The characters that they know and love have different personalities than the ones that are in the book. That kind of vibe. I was thinking like, oh, it's ink art, but darker. And no. This book goes from time travel gone wrong, book travel, it basically like book time travel gone wrong, to Cthulhu levels of cryptid horror. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil this if you guys want to read this book. But this book was so weird. Normally I love Madeline Rowe's writing. I loved her book Asylum, because it's like this spooky book. In the twist ending, there's this twist ending that felt very Goosebumps to me. It's just, this book was so weird. This book was so weird. I kept asking, what is happening? What the hell? Why? I kept asking myself, why? What is going on? This was supposed to be something totally different. And you can tell by the cover, there's like these tentacles and stuff, and I thought that was going to be something completely different. But no, there's something kind of like that in the book. This book was horrific. But it was good. Like, it was fine. This book was fine. Will I ever reread this? Likely not. I will probably never reread this. It was so weird. I'm going to read you guys the inside so you guys can kind of see where I was going into this book. I went into this book blind except for reading the insert right here. Adele and Connie have been friends for years, united by their love of a little-known book called Moira. Unable to reach Moira's reclusive author, Robin Amory, the girls settle for reading the book over and over and over again, dreaming about how much better their lives would be in the world of this romantic fantasy, with its intrigue and excitement. But when the girls are tempted by a mysterious purveyor to enter the world of the book, they hardly suspect it will actually work. And when they find the world of the novel turned upside down, the lavish balls and star-crossed love affairs are now interlaced with unspeakable horrors. The girls realize that something sinister is in their foray into fiction, and they will have to rewrite their own arcs if they hope to escape this nightmare with their lives. So I thought maybe all the lavish and parties and stuff were gonna be, like, actually, like, them planning to, like, do something horrible, kind of unspeakable horrors. I thought, like, maybe there were, like, all ghosts or something, because Madeline Rowe, I'm previous, like, with her Asylum series, there's, like, lots of ghosts and spirits. So I thought maybe everyone in the book were, like, actually real people, but they're just spirits trapped. And there's, like, this big bad cryptid thing that they have to fight in order to free the characters or something, and I thought that was going to be like kind of a cool thing. But this book had me questioning things so much. There's so much like meta, because they go into a book and then there's different things connected to this monster that has also been already documented in another book, which is this book is also in this book world. Yeah, if you're not following me, I'm having a hard time describing it myself. This book was weird. It was weird. It was a fine read. I was really intrigued to find out how it ended, because I was so confused. I was like, how is this gonna end? How is this gonna be wrapped up with a neat little bow? And as soon as I closed the book, I kind of just looked at the wall and went, what did I just read? What did I just read? What? That's how I felt. That is exactly how I felt when I finished this book. If this is your vibe, do it. I don't think I'll ever reread this. It was an alright read. I'm gonna give it like a 6 because of how confused I still am. I don't know if she's planning on making a sequel to this. I kind of hope she does, and this kind of like explains a lot of things that I'm still questioning in this book. I hope she kind of goes with this and maybe makes a second one where we see like what happened after Connie and Adele go back to the real world, and we kind of see the aftermath of everything that they've done. Because there's like this interdimensional creature, and there's like all these different elements linking this book world to other book worlds, and it's like so much bigger than you think. And that's actually kind of an interesting concept, but I feel like it was kind of handled in a weird way. Like, you get fed so much information. You get fed so much information towards, like, the tail end of this book, where we were vaguely informed on things through most of the book, and then it kind of just dumps all this info on you as, like, all this action is happening. People are after them. Creatures are after them. People are dying. But also, here's a lot of lore. It's like, what is happening? It's like they're running away from something and they're being told information as they're like running for their lives and somebody's falling down and someone's getting shot. And it's like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I feel like this book should have been longer if she really wanted to go with this like huge like interconnected thing. It's only like 400 or so pages. I feel like this book should have been like 800 pages long so we could kind of like digest what we're being fed before we're fed more. You kind of see what I'm saying? I liked this. It was all right. I do love some of the characters, and Connie does end up coming out at the end. She has a really nice arc. They both get their first kiss. I'm not going to tell you with who, but they both get their first kiss. There's a really cute little love story between both Connie and Adele. Although one of them does kind of feel rushed, the one that Adele has. She has like this whole thing for Severin, and then Severin has some issues, and she ends up liking another guy. And it's kind of like rushed towards the end where it's kind of hinted at that he likes her and she's kind of digging him. But he's a book boy. He's just a figment of someone else's imagination. And I can't possibly have these feelings, but everything feels real in this world. So maybe he's just as real. And the author mistreated this poor guy so much because he's actually a great person with such a personality. Oh, why do I feel this way? He's a book boy. He's just a book boy. Kind of thing. But I do like some of the elements in this book. There's one character I really like, Mississippi McLaren. I love her. She's a fiery redhead who in the 1800s is like one of those traveling Wild West shows with her dad, and her dad goes missing in Boston, and she ends up running this renegade group, and it's really funny. I really love Mississippi McLaren. I think she's my favorite character out of everyone. It's like when Mississippi's around, I'm like, Mississippi is the one breath of fresh air that I really like in this entire book. And she's not a main character. Like, she's kind of a main character. She's like a side character, but I really do like Mississippi McLaren. She's I think she's my favorite character in the entire book. I would just like a whole book about Mississippi McLaren, Madeline. If you're watching this, please just give me a book about Mississippi. Give me a book about Mississippi McLaren. I love her. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I'm giving this book a 6 just because of how confused I still am. I'm so confused. I'm still so confused. So it was interesting. I do like this book. It was interesting. But yeah, that's what I'm giving it. I'm sorry if this review is kind of like all over the place, but this is how I feel about this book. I'm still so confused. I'm still so confused. I'm confused as hell. So if you liked this video, please hit the like button, maybe hit the subscribe button. I'm on my way to 2,000 subscribers. I would really be appreciated if you could help me reach that goal. I talk about all kinds of things, not just books. I talk about anime, TV shows, pop culture drama, pop culture news, TV shows, all kind of stuff. I'm sure if you look around the channel, you'll find something you like. It's called The Random Show for a reason. It's because it's random on this corner of the internet. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. If you feel like it, pick it up. Give this book a read. Give the Book of Living Secrets a read if you want to. I would love to know other people's thoughts about this and see if they feel just as confused as I am. I have not even looked on Goodreads yet, because normally when I go to buy a book at full price like I did this one, I tend to look at Goodreads to kind of see like what the reception is, to see if I'm gonna like this book or if it's just trash. So I didn't even look at Goodreads when I picked this up. I read the premise. I'm like, ooh, this seems like Inkheart, but darker. Cool. So I grabbed it. That, and I really liked this cover art. So yeah. Yeah, pick it up if you want. I'm giving it a 6 because of how confused I am. But yeah, that's me. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.